What's up, YouTube? JC News Now. I am at the National Historical Site, it's Little Rock Central High School. In 1954, I believe, Brown versus Board of Education decided that schools wouldn't be segregated anymore. That means little black and brown kids and little white kids got to go to school together. They no longer had their separate schools. This is the way it was back then. Well, there were a few groups that opposed this. They wanted to keep it all white. And they made their opinions very, very vocal. And Governor Orville Faubus, he decided that he would submit to pressure. He was a coward, in my opinion. And he decided that I'm gonna enact the National Guard to keep these little black children out of this school. And that's what he did. These kids got to school. They were gonna come to attend Central High School, and Faubus decided to put the United States National Guard there to prevent these kids from going to school when they should have been protecting them. And so they used our own army against our own citizens, in my opinion. I think the man was a coward. Well, President Eisenhower had a different opinion. He decided that he was going to enact federal troops to come and take the National Guard out of this equation and let these kids go to school like all the other kids. And desegregation was in effect at this point, and Eisenhower had the nuts to stand up and say, no, you ain't gonna deny these kids an education because of the color of their skin. And that's exactly what happened. He sent the 101st Airborne out here, and they took over the National Guard, and they escorted these kids to school. Now, the Daisy Bates, she was editor at the Arkansas State Press. It was an African-American newspaper. She decided that she got the NAACP on board, and they took these 9 students and grilled them and conditioned them for the abuse. Now, you can remember. Now, keep in mind, it's 1954, so racism is alive and well in Little Rock and around the country. And so she got with the NAACP, and they grilled these kids on abuse. Now, can you imagine these young teenagers? They called them all kinds of foul names, getting them ready for the abuse that they were going to endure coming to a white school. And so they trained these students, and I call it conditioning. They conditioned them for it, and these brave kids, can you imagine the fear they felt? These brave kids withstood the abuse, and they marched in there, and the 101st Airborne stayed here for a whole year to make sure that they could go to this school. Ernest Green graduated, and he was the first black graduate of Central High. And I think he went on to become the assistant secretary of something. I'll have to go back and check my notes. You know how I am, y'all. He had a federal job. Every one of them did well, and a couple of them worked for, Minnie Jean Brown, or it might be Minnie Jean Davis. Minnie Jean Brown, she got expelled for retaliating against the abuse. And so I'm proud of this lady. I hope she's still alive. I hope I get to meet her. Hopefully that would be a high point in my life. This lady said, oh, hell no. And she retaliated. And they expelled her for it. One little girl had acid thrown in her face, and somebody got pushed down the stairs. They were abused the whole time. You can imagine. You can only imagine. But anyway, I'm going to include a few photos of these brave individuals and a little bit about it. This is a beautiful campus, I believe, and it's open to everyone, no matter what color your skin is, as it should be. And this is awesome. To me, every time I come here, I get chills. I'd let my kid skip school one day just to bring her here and show her this place. And This had a significant effect on civil rights in America. There was a movement going on. All men and women should be created equal, and they should be treated equally. We're Americans. We're not black, we're not white, we're Americans. And my opinion is that the powers that be thrive on us, on Americans being racist. Because as long as we're racist, we're arguing and we're not coming together. And that's a problem. That's a shame. And as long as we're not together, that's a distraction to the real things that are going on. Why do we have to put up with this distraction? Why automatically assume someone is a certain way because of their skin tone? It irritates me, it maddens me, and I'm sick of it. I just want everybody to, we're all Americans, we're all a family. There's gonna be squabbles, but it ain't nothing we can't get over. I can't abide by racism. I don't like it. It's a distraction from the real problem. Anyway, I just wanted to come, while I was in Little Rock, I wanted to come get a few pictures and maybe work up a little story. But I hope everybody's doing good. I hope you have love in your heart. There ain't no room for hatred. All it does is wear you out and make you tired. We're right in the capital, right in the central part of the city, hence the name. But I think it's a beautiful campus. It looks like it did back then to me. I'll post photos of then and now. But I just wanted y'all to see what was going on. This fit right into the, oh yeah, this fit right into the movement that was going on. Rights were starting to be respected. Hell, they're disrespected today because of the color of your skin. There's profiling that goes on everywhere, especially in the South. But one of these little girls, when they were all gonna carpool and come to school on the first day, her family didn't have a phone. So she had to walk, and she came by herself. And she was followed by a group of white kids that called her bad names and was ugly to her. One of them even spit on her. And I can imagine the fear that young lady had. And I'm proud that she's strong. And I'm proud that she stood amidst fear and danger. And she stood up for what was right. And to me, I admire that. And I'm gonna go home and get some yonder, y'all. I wanted to just share a little bit of Little Rock and Little Rock's history. I hope you dig the video. Please share, like, and subscribe. I'm gonna do some more cop watching later on, I think. I've got a couple more places in mind for audits. And I'm even planning a little bitty protest, maybe. We'll see what happens, Jeff Gray style. But I love each and every one of you. And with that, I'm JC News. Now, peace.